Who actually benefits the most from Lynae's and Mornye's kits? Today we're going deeper than the usual surface-level explanations. Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? Let's start with a hook you're probably already thinking about. Everyone is excited about Lynae, but not everyone fully understands who she elevates the most. Her outro skill is already earning a reputation for turning quiet, overlooked resonators into sudden monsters. That alone pushes her firmly into the category of a versatile sub-DPS who doubles as an amp bot. When a single character brings both damage and amplification at the same time, you end up with a flexible unit who naturally slots into teams that were previously searching for consistency. Before we go deeper, do note that Lynae's and Mornye's kits are not yet final, so please take all info here with a grain of salt for now. Also, a quick reminder. If you ever feel short on Asterites or Lunites, you can top up using my Loot Bar link in the description and pinned comment. Loot Bar has excellent Trustpilot scores and is trusted by tens of thousands of WoWA players. Their mobile DIY top-up means you get discounts safely without giving your password away. Using my link gives you up to 25% off, plus an additional 10% off your first purchase. So yeah, give it a shot. Now back to the video. The thing about Lynae is that she hands out universal damage amplification without forcing awkward playstyles or complex rotations. Liberation damage buffs and all damage buffs create a rare mix that brings Euno straight into the spotlight. Euno scaling is very liberation heavy, which means Lynae's buffs land exactly where they matter. The synergy here feels almost tailor-made. It gives Euno the kind of consistent push that her usual shield-gated amplification sometimes struggles to maintain at S0. Lupa finds herself in a similar situation, benefiting from Lynae's liberation buffing. Even if Lupa comes with her own amplification toolkit, Lynae fills in the missing pieces by rewarding Lupa's explosive window. The irony is that both technically buff each other's ability scaling, which creates a situation that is strong but slightly awkward because both want to be the ones setting the tone. It's not unplayable at all, just a pairing that needs a confident rotation. Then there's Xiangli, someone who absolutely appreciates the extra amplification Lynae offers. His liberation damage output thrives when the floor of his multipliers gets pushed upward. Lynae opens the door for Xiangli to hit harder without demanding any strange setup or forcing energy-hungry patterns. Chiacona stands out as a surprising beneficiary. She has always had the numbers to step close to main DPS territory, but usually needs extra help to cross the threshold. Lynae's kit finally hands her those missing boosts. With enough uptime, Chiacona can shift into a much more assertive role, and Lynae helps her do that without straining the rest of the team. Let's not forget Chisa, who may be a healer but absolutely does not act like a passive unit. She already deals a good amount of damage, and when paired with Lynae, her output becomes a small spectacle. Their synergy works cleanly because Chisa's heal-based playstyle frees rotation space for Lynae to do her thing. Among all the benefactors, the biggest winners are Euno and Chisa. Their kits align beautifully with Lynae's strengths, and neither introduces friction that slows down the team's momentum. Once you decide to run Chisa or Euno with Lynae, your next question becomes, who fills the third slot to buff Lynae herself? That's where Sanhua steps in as the clear favorite. Sanhua boosts basic attacks so consistently that Lynae's basic attack damage gets a smooth, noticeable lift. The pairing works even better when Lynae's rotation encourages constant motion and repeated fundamental strings. Lupa can technically buff Lynae as well, but the relationship becomes awkward because both lean towards strengthening specific ability scaling patterns in each other. It's functional, but it asks more from the player than most teams need. If you want your buffer slot to feel simpler, coordinated damage resonators equipped with Moonlit Glow or Empyrean Anthem make your life easier. Jeji and Cantarella are the prime examples. They feed Lynae attack buffs without demanding unusual rotations and give her a clean environment to maintain her damage output. Verena and Shorekeeper also fit into this ecosystem because of their reliable damage amplification. Their buffs blend nicely with Lynae's and add layers to what the team can do. Augusta deserves her own mention for being one of the cleanest partners for Iuno when Lynae is present. Her all-damage amplification stacks beautifully with Lynae's kit, and the trio can feel incredibly smooth in theory. And then there's Roccia. If you're the kind of player who loves synergy that feels natural, a Lynae-Roccia lineup might be the combination you've been waiting for. Roccia thrives when surrounded by units who expand her damage windows, and Lynae ensures the entire team's base numbers get pushed higher. It's a synergy that feels easy, satisfying, and surprisingly strong. Now let's shift to Mornye, because her role in team building is different. She leans into off-field coordinated damage pairings. This makes her ideal for Resonators who want someone constantly supporting them without hogging field time. Frolova is the perfect example of this. When you pair Mornye and Contarella with Frolova, Hecate transforms into a monster hovering in the background. The off-field ticking damage benefits tremendously from Mornye's marks and amplification windows. Since Contarella and Zheji already thrive on triggering extra coordinated hits, it's no surprise that Jinshi and Carlotta also gain value from a Mornye pairing. Their kits scale comfortably with the types of buffs Mornye provides. They get the benefit without sacrificing the pacing of their rotations. But even with all those strong partners, Frolova is still the biggest winner. Mornye elevates her off-field potential in a way that feels immediate and noticeable. If you run a rotation that opens with Lynae, switches to Mornye, then transitions to Frolova, Hecate might reach a point where it collects stacked benefits from both supports. This interaction still needs confirmation through full testing, but even the theoretical synergy suggests a team with serious promise. Surprisingly, Chiacona can also fit really well with both Lynae and Mornye. If you run a rotation that goes from Lynae to Chiacona and then to Mornye, the whole setup feels natural and smooth. Lynae boosts Chiacona's on-field hits, helping her push out stronger and more consistent damage. When Chiacona leaves the field, Mornye steps in to amplify her coordinated off-field strikes, letting her keep dealing heavy damage even when she isn't the active unit. And that's the big picture. Lynae empowers Resonators hungry for damage amplification and liberation scaling. Mornye enhances units that thrive when their coordinated damage is constantly fed by debuffs and supportive triggers. Together, they broaden what your account can do and give neglected Resonators renewed relevance. If you've been hunting for a team-building guide that doesn't repeat the same ideas or pulled from the same predictable templates, this should give you a clearer sense of who these two actually help and how much potential your teams may still have waiting to unlock. If this video resonated with you, please leave a like and subscribe. Ring that bell for massive version 3.0 gacha luck and maybe a sandwich. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in my next video drop. Goodbye.